Welcome to SEC Football Live, College Football Playoff Heisman Edition here on the 440 Sports Network, brought to you by M.L. Rose Neighborhood Pub, the best burgers and beer selection in the city. I am Braden Gall. That is Trey Wallace of OutKick.com. Make sure you check out all of his work over on the website. He's got the podcast. He's all over the socials as well. Trey, back in our regularly scheduled slot here on Wednesday morning. Good to see you. How are you, sir?
Good to see you, man. Just getting there's so much going on in college athletics, so pushing through and getting ready for a weekend in Oxford. So
You going to Oxford? Okay, all right.
yeah, going to Oxford. Yeah, I kind of broke the trip up, be easy, and then I'll be back in Nashville for Christmas. So yeah, it all works out. And then I don't know where I'm going after that, like either New Orleans or Pasadena, one of the other.
Nice. What about A&M against Ohio State in Arlington? Not attractive to you?
I don't know. I don't know. That would be, but Indiana potentially against Alabama, or if Alabama's out, where does that go this weekend?
Do you know that the Pantone for Oklahoma, Alabama, and Indiana is all identical? They have the identical school color. Did you know that?
No,
all three of them.
I don't know. It feels like Indiana is a little
more red,
lighter,
but it's not. Apparently, well, they literally call themselves the Crimson and Cream, which is also what Oklahoma calls itself. Anyway, that's not what we're going to discuss. We are going to discuss all of the matchups in the first round.
I would enjoy it, though. That'd be great.
Well, there's a ton of Indiana people here in Nashville.
Yeah.
And a bunch of my buddies are Indiana people, and they're going out to the Rose Bowl. They already have tickets. And like their only complaint right now, because like, look, they got the Heisman Trophy, they got the #1 seed, they're all this stuff. They're riding in a place they've never ridden before, flying high. And he's like, yeah, but I'm not going to, the visual shots on TV aren't going to be half the stadium like the Georgia-Florida thing. It's going to just be crimson on one side and crimson on the other.
Man, I'm
like, that's all you have to complain about?
Like, I'm curious to see how many opposing fans travel besides Indiana. That's what I'm getting at. Like,
no, I got you.
A bunch of tickets on the market right now. They're expensive.
So yeah, well, it's Pasadena. Not easy to get to either. It's not like New Orleans from Nashville where you could just top a direct flight and be at the Dome in like 30 minutes.
That's maybe a matchup that's like even crazy. I know we'll get into it, but it's like the Orange Bowl is the wild one where like if Oregon wins, they have to travel all the way to Miami.
At Texas Tech's not much. I mean, it's closer, obviously, but
I know. But then I have to play like a first round game. Like, and then Oregon's still dealing with like 6,000 tickets for sale for Saturday night's game.
All right. We'll get into the atmospheres today. We'll make picks. We'll make a national championship pick. We'll make our official picks for the entire tournament. But I want to start with sort of our Heisman ballots explained a little bit. We'll do that today on the show. We are, of course, brought to you by M.L. Rose. 7 locations, soon to be 8 in Murfreesboro Neighborhood Pub. Great drink specials on Saturdays. Great drink specials on Sundays. Fantastic drink specials on Thursdays and Tuesdays. They got trivia. If you're watching the game Friday night, of course, they're a great place to go watch it. If you're visiting Nashville, they are all over the place. They have fantastic food. It is a great vibe. It's a great hang. It's a really chill place to go watch a game. It's just got all the right like atmospheric stuff, you know. Like it's decorated well, and the TVs are everywhere, and the beer is great, and the people are nice. It's just a really good time. So make sure you swing by M.L. Rose if you come to town. Of course, those who live here know all about it. Neighborhood Pub, drink specials Saturdays and Sundays. They got the brunch menu, the SEC sandwich. You can go drink 2 beers for the price of 1, Trey, and eat an SEC sandwich during a Texas A&M Miami game.
Well, dang it! I might not. Okay, I'll just have to stop by today then.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. I'll just do that today.
There you go. All right. So
on this breakfast sandwich. Okay, now I'm gonna have to look it up. We're good.
It's a sausage, egg, and cheese.
Okay,
on a biscuit. They make homemade biscuits on Saturday and Sunday mornings.
And alcohol, man. That's a great one.
That's pretty good. Spicy cheese curds, the best ranch dipping sauce in the city. These are the things that matter, Trey. These are the things that matter. If you want to get into the comment section, please do so. You can ask any question, any prediction about any game, about anything that's going on in the show. We'd love to get you involved that way. So please thumbs up on YouTube, notifications turned on, share the show, Twitter and Facebook, etc. Please tell people about it. If you're listening on a podcast app, 5 stars only, please. If you do not give us 5 stars, you are a hater.
I know how to find people too. So
that I believe. All right. If you want, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first on the ballot? I think you should go. What do you want to do? You want to explain?
I don't
explain all 3. You explain all 3 of them, and I'll explain all 3 of mine, and then we'll break down the actual voting. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
Heisman Trophy 2025.
I know that. Yeah. All right. I guess we're really going out there with it. I didn't go Nicole Auerbach. I love Nicole. But I did go Diego 1 Fernando 2, Jeremiah Love 3.
Okay.
So I kind of changed it up a little bit. I felt like he did a little bit more, and it's a lot of with Julian saying it was a lot because Ohio State really didn't have to open up that offense much. Probably had better numbers if so. For Diego Pavia, one, it's not because I'm from the South, or it's not because I don't live in the Midwest or the West or anything like that. Like, I just paid attention to each one of his games, and I saw one performance that was really rough, and that was against Alabama. Like the Texas game, like I can live with that in the second half and what he did in the second half. I think that he wouldn't get the respect against what he did for like against Kentucky. That's fine if you're not going to pay attention to that, but he broke the single game record for Vanderbilt. He was lighting them up. What he did against Auburn, and then capping it off with against Tennessee. And I think that when you have over 440 yards of total offense against a top 25 team at the time, by the way, sorry, CFP rankings, you can try to shit on them afterwards, but it was a top 25 team.
Yeah.
I think that stood out to me. And so I did go into I'm not going to lie. Like I was, okay, what can Fernando do in the Big Ten championship game to potentially swing my vote? Because he does have an extra game, and I wanted to give him that leverage. I get that. But to me, it just he completed. I'm not trying to take anything away from Fernando because I think he's worthy. But
I mean, you voted him number 2. Like,
right, his Heisman moment, according to the broadcast, was connecting for a 36-yard pass down the sideline with under 2 minutes to go.
It was a pretty big play.
Right, it was a big play. Don't get me wrong, but if we're saying like that's a Heisman moment, it's like.
I mean, really, the touchdown pass to take the lead was a big one. He played a great fourth quarter.
Absolutely,
it was not a great first 3 quarters. It's an elite defense, but it is a championship game. His biggest moment was the throw against Penn State, and that's a team that was like, under 500 at the time, and they had to make that drive. It was an unbelievable drive, unbelievable throw. The receiver makes the catch. The receiver
made the play.
Right.
That ball was kind of over. I'm not trying to take anything away. It was awesome.
We are totally nitpicking here because this is how close it kind of really was. Did you struggle at all with who was third, or was it Love all the way for you?
No, I did struggle. I did struggle with that because he didn't play a few. Like when I say didn't play, like I'm talking all 4 quarters. Like yes, that was a little bit of struggle. I think Julian's saying to be fine down the road. I just don't feel like again, like I said earlier, if Ohio State had to, he would have been a better candidate in my opinion. That's why. That's it.
Well, I voted Diego Pavia 1. I voted Fernando Mendoza 2. I voted Jacob Rodriguez 3. I really agonized about this, though, because I didn't think Mendoza was all that spectacular this season, the most outstanding player. I think he's really critical. I think he's really important, the way Pavia is really important.
Right.
Pavia was significantly more productive. I think that Jeremiah Love was the actually most outstanding player probably in college football, just from a pure like athleticism and talent standpoint. Jacob Rodriguez, I think, deserves a ton of credit. I mean, 11 forced individual turnovers.
Yeah.
I mean, like over 100 tackles, scoring rushing touchdowns. Like he is just like there. I know there's an argument for David Bailey being the reason he's got all these numbers, but like David Bailey's a great player. The only other one I considered was Haynes King at Georgia Tech. And Haynes King, to me, was a very similar argument to that of Diego Pavia and Fernando Mendoza, which is those 3 players were the most important players for their teams the entire season.
Yes.
And the difference for me was that Georgia Tech didn't finish the job. I know they had the same record as Vanderbilt. I think doing it at Georgia Tech is easier than either Indiana or at Vanderbilt.
Don't disagree.
And I think the amount of workload that he delivered, like my top 5 would have been Love 4, Haynes King 5. That would have been, I don't have Julian Saint even in my top 5.
You don't want to put Gunnar Stockton in there?
Look, Gunnar Stockton, it might be the MVP of the tournament, but we'll get to that. My issue is
first place votes. Come on.
I know there's a lot of people that and former SEC beat writers that I've argued with on this platform on another show. That's like, well, none of these guys are as good as Jaden Daniels or Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson or any of these guys. And I'm like, okay, like that's not. It's not really relevant, right? It's not really relevant.
What am I supposed to do with that in 2025?
I think it's okay. This is how I did it. I think it's okay. I think it is okay to use historical context to justify a vote for Pavia or Mendoza in saying that those 2 guys did something this season for their programs that is completely unprecedented. That, even Antoine Randall L didn't do what Fernando Mendoza did this year. Now,
Yeah.
I think Indiana and Fernando Mendoza has a better coaching staff. This is going to sound like a backhanded compliment to Vanderbilt, but it's not meant to be. I think they have a better team and a better coaching staff. And I think he had a better supporting cast. He has NFL players all over his team. There are NFL players. There's 2 NFL receivers. There's NFL defensive linemen. There's NFL corner. They are a more talented roster with a better coaching staff and a better overall quote-unquote team. And so I understand why Mendoza won. I'm not really upset about it. I just think Pavia did more for his team. He was far more productive with a tougher schedule, and I think with a team that's not quite as talented. And if we're nitpicking here, that's why I went with Pavia. Not because Mendoza doesn't deserve it, but I just think Pavia was just a little bit more important, a little bit more dynamic. It was a little bit more of a difficult path, and equal. Both of these guys are equally as important to their programs historically.
Diego had one weapon on offense, bro. Like
he's a great player, but
Eli. I mean, that's it. Yeah. And I'm not. That's not rude or anything. I'm being very honest. Like, he did so much with that offense and what he was able to do on the ground and what he was able to do through the air. And it's like, I found myself in a moment, and I'm thinking back to some of those games that Mendoza won. Like, great job. Like, it was awesome. Don't get me wrong. But it's like the CFP committee thing when they came out and said, well, they won at Penn State, and I'm thinking, well, Penn State really wasn't good. So I guess you can take in their atmosphere for one of the reasons why it was a tough win. Like,
I also will say to Eddie's point, Eddie says Mendoza went to an 11-2 team. Pavia went to a broken program and built it. That's, for Pavia, that was last year because they were pretty good last year and beat number 1. And I don't want to include that in analyzing what they did this year, but that is fair context to include. I disagree with Eddie on this one, where he says, I don't want to start the argument about whether he should be first. My opinion is mine, but the 200 who don't have him on their ballot, that's just simply anti-Pavia and a fundamental issue. I totally disagree with this. And that is because there were so many relatively even candidates. Look, if you want to be frustrated that's he's only on 78% of the ballots or whatever the final number was, fine. But like the fact that you could argue, hey, I'm voting Jeremiah Love 1, I'm going to vote Fernando Mendoza 2, and I'm going to vote Julian Sayin 3. Like, there's nothing wrong with that ballot. There's just
it's like guys ranked 3 through 7,
all about the same too. My top five, top 5 was all basically even in my mind.
Yeah.
And so if you have a really evenly matched race for this award, 2 people that are deserving are going to be left out. I didn't vote Jeremiah Love. I feel bad about that.
Right.
Is my point. I didn't vote Haynes King. I feel bad about that. But there are only 3 slots. I didn't vote Julian Sayin. Like, there are worthy guys who didn't get on the ballot across the country, including Pavia, and you can't be upset about that.
Yeah, and there also wasn't. Yeah, I mean, I agree with the fact that there wasn't a Jaden Daniels per se this year, and a Burrow. Like, okay, that's fine, but we have to look at each season differently. I can't go back and say what happened in 2019 or 2020 is going to affect my vote this year because what am I going to do? Put no ballot in there?
Zero for nobody in first place. Right.
Good. Nobody.
Right. Okay. All right, I just wanted to get that out. I wanted to talk through it. I haven't had a chance to do that. It explains sort of myself and my ballot. I wanted to hear your explanation, so I appreciate everybody out there for letting us do that. Now let's get to the football game.
But remember, though, F them voters, right?
Yeah, right. M.L. Rose, everybody. If you need a drink, if you want a beer, all that great stuff, let's go. M.L. Rose, 7 great locations all across the city. Soon to be 8 in Murfreesboro. The spicy cheese curds, y'all. I'm telling you, they're ridiculous. All right, let's get into these games. Are Alabama and Oklahoma not only this exact same color scheme, but also the exact same football team?
Yes, in a way. Both trying to figure out what the hell they're doing on offense. Both have a pretty good defense, though I would leverage Oklahoma a little bit more than Alabama on the defensive side. Look, if John Mateer comes down and has it, I don't trust Alabama's offense, and I've been telling you this for a month and a half now. Like,
I don't trust Oklahoma's offense either.
Well, I know that. That's the problem. I was about to get to the other side of that. And it's like if John Mateer and Oklahoma finally wake up on Friday night, not saying Ty Simpson and them can't do it, but I'm just saying, like, the Oklahoma defense, I think, could be the problem. And then this thing could be 14, 17 points at the end. I don't want to think that. I think Jam Miller will be back. for Alabama. He wasn't on the availability report, which is a good thing, by the way, folks. Not a bad thing. Yes, they're pretty much the same team, man. But I just have to go with recency, and I also go back to that first matchup too. Ty Simpson throws that pick six.
Yeah.
This is one of those games, dude.
Hey,
There's
Oklahoma
a lot
had
of Michigan paying attention to this one as well.
4.1 yard. Alabama fans, by the way. Real quickly here, I've got a 25 minute interview with a beat writer from all four teams in the SEC up on the YouTube page as of right now. The Oklahoma one will be coming up this evening. But I talked to Matt Stahl from AL.com, and he's like, Bama fans are actually a little bit they're handling this better than I expected. That now they're sort of like, be careful what you wish for. They're actually like, oh, maybe Kalen DeBoer's pretty good. Maybe we don't want to hire a coach right now because Michigan, there's all this Michigan talk.
You mean the one that you wanted to fire during the Iron Bowl and after the SEC?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy to hear Alabama fans going, wait a second, maybe we shouldn't be insane. It's just crazy. Look, I was talking to, which you can see that interview, either you can listen to it on the podcast feed or you can check it out on YouTube
Matt,
as well.
That's gonna be great.
Matt's great. I got Neil McCready talking to Ole Miss. I got
my boy Neil.
David Nuno from Texas talking A&M, and I've got Josh McQuiston from Sooner Scoop coming up this evening. So you can get a full preview from all four perspectives going into the first round. And I do think special teams will play a massive role for Oklahoma. They are at home. But that game at 4.1 yards per play, less than basically 200 yards of offense, short fields for both teams. It was not pretty for Oklahoma. They figured out a way to win, and Alabama did find places to dissect the secondary if they can protect the quarterback, which is a major question for Alabama. I wonder, we were talking about John Mateer's sort of evolution as a quarterback this season, and I think they tried to rein him in after the first few weeks of the season. Hey, don't take as many risks because he's kind of a gunslinger, right? And I think what happened is a lot of times when you coach a quarterback to kind of chill out, play to your defense's strength, and kind of play complementary football, he can start to get gun shy in later in the season when you need him to take risks. And I think that's what we've seen from Mateer. And so I'm curious if they sort of go back to him and say, no, we need you to be yourself. If we're going to make a run and we're going to beat Alabama, beat Indiana, and maybe try to compete for a national championship, we need that old John Mateer gunslinger to come back to play. And so I'm curious what different wrinkles each offense has for very good defenses and two teams that cannot run the football.
If this is if this is like a defensive juggernaut game on Friday night, Indiana's licking their chops. They're like, okay, cool, bring it. You know what I mean? If we can pull it out against Ohio State, somebody does it against Oregon, cool, man. Let's have at it. This game Friday night, I'm just telling you, if it's 17-14, crazy, ugly shit, Indiana will be ready in Pasadena. I don't know where to go with this game. I think I do, and I'm going to make a prediction, but I do think that Alabama is kind of reeling right now, and I am.
You're not buying them getting healthier gives them a better shot.
Whatever. You held 11 players out, or they were hurt during the SEC title game. Cool. Everybody's hurt this time of year. There's nobody that's healthy. I'm sorry. And Ty Simpson is taking a beating over the last month and a half.
Matt told me, he goes, you don't want to speculate, but I don't think Ty Simpson's healthy.
No, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I'm not sitting here reporting anything, but my dude is taking some hits, and that knee has been ramsacked. I would imagine there's a couple cleanups that are coming after the season's over. Just being honest.
I agree. Look, I do think it's first 1 to 12 wins. I do think it's very similar to the Indiana-Ohio State game. I do think it comes down to a quarterback making a throw, which I do trust Ty Simpson better to do.
I agree.
And I trust their weapons maybe a little bit more. I trust John Mateer. Again, this is where I want to see the old John Mateer running around, being aggressive, take a few risks. It's okay. Your defense is going to back you up most of the time. You're at home. It could be cold. The over-under total is 40.5. I'm taking the under. And you've got a field goal kicker who's the best in the country. So I think it's okay to play a little bit more loose with the quarterback when he's at home. I just don't know.
Especially putting the pressure on Bama. I have not seen them perform well when pressure is put on Alabama's offense. You get that gutsy fourth down call against Auburn? You gonna hang your head on that? Okay,
pretty gutsy.
I know.
I'm
not saying that should have been a CFP talking point.
Well, no, of course not. You are obsessed with the what they say coming out of that committee room, aren't you?
You just can't fix dumbassery. So it is what it is.
I agree. Why do you keep trying?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's
Sorry,
okay.
Hunter, you're a dick.
I think what's interesting is, see now, Alabama has though been playing sort of back against the wall since the Florida State game, so they're maybe more in play. Like everyone's like, oh, their form was bad at the end of the year. Obviously, what they did against Georgia and the law, but like they played a good game against Oklahoma. They just made a few mistakes that cost them. Oklahoma, give them credit, they made the plays. So it's not like they were a terrible football team. They lost one game at the start of the year to a mediocre Florida State team, where I just think they got surprised, and Florida State was focused all summer on that. Castellanos was talking shit, and they just jumped on him and beat him, and that's what it is. And it did highlight an issue, which is the offensive line, their lack of running game protecting the quarterback. But I think that's more of you kind of flush that one to some degree. And the rest of the season, they've played back against the wall. They've done everything they're supposed to do, Alabama. And I really think they did most of that against Oklahoma. So there's a reason they're favored. I think the Sooners are going to capitalize on the moment, and the field goal kicking is the difference. That would be my pick on this game. But honestly, I think it's low scoring. I think it's nail biting. I think it's really good drama. It's just not going to be great offensive football.
No, it's going to be a Friday night, ugly slugfest on defense. That's it. And I think that I think at the end of the day, Oklahoma wins the game. I think I would rather see Alabama versus Indiana in the Rose Bowl. I don't know why, and that's not a shot at Oklahoma. I don't know. I don't
think I have a preference actually. Now that I think about it,
yeah, but
I think Oklahoma is a more entertaining
potential
product against Indiana.
Yes, but to me, it would almost be like, I know where Indiana's ranked this year, so Indiana fans, please don't take this personal. I'm not meaning it to take a shot, but it would be like David versus Goliath when it comes to brands.
Yeah, knocking off big bad Bama as like little old IU is IU fans got to be excited about the opportunity.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think that the problem is for Indiana we'll get to this next week, of course, on the show, but like the problem is really more if this is another game like Ohio State, that does actually give Oklahoma and Alabama a chance to pull the upset. If it's going to be 13-10, that gives those other guys a better chance. What you would hope for is for Indiana to score a few more, like a higher scoring game, I think would benefit Indiana because I think their defense can stop Oklahoma and Alabama. Does that make sense? Is that a weird way to think about it?
It does make sense. It does.
Okay.
I'm looking at stats real quick. Yeah, it makes sense. Yes.
It makes sense. All right. Next game up will be Miami at Texas A&M, 11 a.m. Really frustrating that this game is, of course, not at night, but the reason they put Oregon and James Madison at night is because the NFL Bears-Packers game is on, so no one's going to watch the blowout in Eugene. But
here you go, TNT. You can have those 2 afternoon games.
Honestly, A&M and Miami, and to kind of wrap up the Oklahoma-Alabama thing, both of those offenses, have faced really, really good defenses. Yeah. Oklahoma's played a bunch of great defenses. Alabama's played a bunch of great defenses. A&M has not. A&M has missed all the best defenses in the SEC. Didn't play Oklahoma, didn't play Alabama. They did play Texas, and they lost. And so they have not played Georgia either. So I'm curious about A&M's defense. I think the home field advantage will be excellent. But I really think what it comes down to is sort of like, which quarterback shows up for either of these two teams. Like Carson Beck, 6 interceptions in the 2 losses. He's been brilliant the last 3 or 4 weeks. Marcel Reed is not really a true drop back passer. They need to get him on the edge. The problem is Miami's front 7 is real salty. So
yeah,
where are you at with this game right now in College Station Saturday morning?
Yeah, God, that's so weird for you to say Saturday morning too, like 11 o'clock kickoff for that big game. Like I honestly, this is lining up for Miami to have a pretty decent offensive performance, in my opinion.
Okay.
Now, but like you said, we don't know which Beck we're going to get in this one. So I'm kind of back and forth. I do think Marcel Reed will have the ability to get outside the pocket and make plays if the line breaks down. I think that benefits them more than a Carson Beck, per se, trying to pull that off. I think the atmosphere will have something to do with, a little bit of the craziness for Miami. A playoff game at home in College Station, like, holy hell, like if there wasn't some stupid Lane Kiffin, Pete Golding, Ole Miss storyline type of thing, I'd be in College Station. But
this is by far the juiciest matchup with storylines, talent, players, weapons.
You say that,
so good.
You say that, but I swear on everything that I own, if Tulane were to roll in freaking Oxford and win that game, I telling you, the Ole Miss fan base will immediately get in the car and drive to Baton Rouge and be outside Lane Kiffin's house by Saturday night.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm just saying, like on
I agree.
paper, and we'll get to the Ole Miss matchup,
No, I know.
but like you have
It's A&M versus Miami in the playoff with a chance to go play Ohio State.
Yeah. So yes, exactly right. It is two teams that have never made the playoff. Miami never made the playoff in the 4-team era. A&M never made the playoff in the 4-team era. Yep. They're both in. College Station's never hosted a game, which I realize is the same in Norman and Eugene and Oxford. But like this program, A&M's program has been trying to build to this for the better part of like 4 decades.
Yes,
and now they get the game at home against the team many of us don't necessarily think should have been in here, against a former, like you've got a former first-round projected quarterback in Carson Beck. The weaponry for both of these offenses is so much fun. Malachi Toney is so much fun. The same with Concepcion and Carver. Like there's so much intrigue. It should be extremely entertaining. I think the total is 51.5. So that's acknowledging good offense and good defense to some degree. A 24-23 kind of game is not high scoring, but there's enough offense there. It's not 40 like Oklahoma and Alabama. I just think it's two brands. The helmet matchup is great, unlike the Oklahoma-Alabama matchup. It's just it has everything you want when the playoff expanded, was to get a game like this. And I think A&M's the better team. I think Miami, though, is going to play very well.
I do too, and that's why this is going to be a 4-quarter game. This is not getting away from either one of these teams. I just defensive line for Miami. We saw Marcel Reed, what happens when he gets under a lot of pressure. Thanks, South Carolina, for giving that blueprint of how to present a formidable defensive line against them. I just look. There's part of me that thinks things could get wrecked in College Station Saturday afternoon. But again, I don't know. I've seen Carson Beck go on the road and struggle many times. So it's which one steps up. So I'm going with A&M to win this game, to play Ohio State in the Cup. I am. I think Marcel. I think the rushing attack. I think that this will be another indictment towards Cristobal at Miami.
That's the thing I can't. I want to pick Miami to win in the upset. I'm taking Oklahoma in the upset.
Right.
But the biggest difference between these two teams, it's not close. The biggest difference is the head coach spot.
Yes.
It's not even close. One of them is a superior coach in every way and knows how to manage games pretty well. The other one's Mario Cristobal.
Yes, exactly.
And that's my only concern. I think Miami should win. Like I would pick Miami if there wasn't such a great coaching disparity.
Yes. And that's not, we're not just blowing smoke. Like, we're being honest here. Like, I've seen Miami make some dumbass calls. And especially decision, man, fourth down. Like, so I just, first off, I'm excited to follow the Texas A&M police account on Twitter on Saturday. That's going to be fascinating. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look it up. But also, just in the game in general, man, like, I do think that this is one of those atmospheres. Also, let's not forget, like, the last time A&M took the field, they left with a very, very sour taste in their mouth. So I don't think, like, all the pressure is on them. Like, I know Texas A&M athletic department's like, please God win and let us go to Dallas to play this next game. There will be 50,000 A&M fans in that stadium. Like, I get what
I want to believe that A&M can win the whole thing, but that matchup with Ohio State's real bad for them.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and I've seen. I sat there and watched, Ohio State go on the road last year and beat Texas in the Cotton Bowl. Like, so whatever. We'll talk about that next week when it happens. I am going to go with Texas A&M to win this game because I trust A&M more than I trust Miami right now.
I mean, I don't trust Cristobal, but I think Miami's going to play well. So
I do too, and I'm not saying this is going to be a blowout. I'm saying this comes down the fourth quarter, final 5 minutes, something wild happens. I think A&M wins. I really want to pick Miami, but. Damn you in the last month, Miami, for just making me think otherwise.
These first two games are what the playoff was supposed to be about, which is 3 points or less point spread, teams that Like there's one with history and there's one that's got like Notre Dame. Miami and A&M played a couple of years ago in non-conference.
Yeah.
Remember, it was like a 43-38 game. That was before Cam Ward and well before Marcel Reed.
That was fun. Yep.
Before Mike Elko, I think it was Jimbo Fisher actually.
It was.
It's like two huge brands that rarely are in the situation, which makes that game really fun. Tons of NFL talent in both these games. The Alabama-Oklahoma thing, like I'm not excited about it as on paper, but when the game starts, I'm going to be all over it. And so it just feels a little bit more boring. Same colors, same brands, rematch from a month ago. Like it just doesn't feel as interesting. But as soon as it kicks off, we're going to be all over it. Yeah, for sure. Like I can't wait. So this is what it's all about.
And if Alabama gets down 21 points, it's like fire up the Michigan message boards.
Exactly. Well, all right. So before we move on to Ole Miss, how real do you think that actually is? Are you just actually blowing smoke now? Because I don't think he's leaving. I don't think he has any interest in leaving. I don't think Michigan wants him.
I don't think he's leaving, but I don't think that Michigan is done with their communications with Kalen DeBoer.
They're not done with communicating to anybody right now.
Well,
who are the other?
I mean by that, damn it. Just because he puts out a statement through Yay Alabama, their NIL collective.
More likely to be the Michigan coach.
Yes.
More likely to be the Michigan coach. Kalen DeBoer or Brian Kelly?
Brian Kelly.
I agree. More likely to be the Michigan coach. Brian Kelly or Lincoln Riley?
Lincoln Riley.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
My man's been itching to find something different.
More likely to be the Michigan coach, Lincoln Riley or Eli Drinkwitz?
I don't think it's Eli Drinkwitz.
His contract is hilarious.
Oh, it's nutty.
It's hilarious. For you SEC fans that don't know, Eli Drinkwitz got his extension and doesn't have to pay any buyout really at all if he leaves to go to Michigan.
No, he can go. Bye.
What were you doing, Missouri?
Thanks, guys.
Why did you give him that contract?
Appreciate that. Have a great agent.
It's like so Michigan doesn't have to pay the buyout for Sharon Moore because it's for cause. And if they wanted Eli Drinkwitz, it would cost them like $3.5 million or $5 million or whatever the number is.
Nothing. He could leave tomorrow and write a check. Like
really, literally.
I'll have that wired to you.
He's got cash in last night's pinstripe suit.
Right. Like I think Michigan's trying to swing for the fences here. I just don't know with the investigation ongoing. And
would Jesse Minter be too toxic because he's connected to Harbaugh?
I do. I don't think they want to go down that road and everything they're investigating right now. I'm just being honest. There's going to be a lot more stuff that comes out about this. Just warning folks about the Michigan thing. So,
but that's more. You're talking more Sharon Moore.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the athletic department as well.
Well, sure.
I'm talking about the athletic department.
Oh, I'm assuming there'll be a new athletic director making the hire.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's gonna be. I think the athletic director probably gonna make the hire, and then let me rephrase that. I think the money folks are gonna make the hire for the athletic director. Then the athletic director's out.
Oh, how LSU of you, Michigan?
I'm telling you, right?
Who's the governor? Is Gretchen Whitmer gonna make?
No, I don't. I would hope not. But that's what happens when you have billionaire boosters.
Gretchen Whitmer she's pretty smart. She knows she could probably get.
And don't forget,
people in the
Kenny
room.
Dillingham has not said no yet. He just keeps saying, "I want the best for my staff."
All right, who are the top three most likely Michigan head coaches? Lincoln Riley, Kenny Dillingham. Is that what you're saying? Brian Kelly.
I would keep Kenny Dillingham just in the ballpark.
I think you could do a lot worse than Brian Kelly.
I do too. Like I Brian Kelly could work, and if it doesn't work in 2 years, just go back and restart it. Like like whatever. But they've got to they got to find somebody to come in there and stabilize that program.
But if he takes the job, he can't. Like James Franklin, if he takes the job, then LSU's off the hook for a bunch of money they owe him. So if I'm Brian Kelly, I'm living that buyout life for a year or two.
Dude, I'm doing television gigs.
Yeah,
like
right.
That's it.
Right.
Like I'm bringing out the best in television that I can. So
Clark Lee.
Oh man, I don't think Clark would leave now after the last 2 weeks.
Not with Curtis coming in.
No, not with Curtis. Man, I'm just telling folks out there, it is a cesspool in Ann Arbor right now with stuff going on. And I'm not just talking about Sharon Moore. This investigation firm has their hand so far up Michigan Athletic Department's ass right now, finding stuff like it's going to turn out to be weird.
All right. ML. So Kalen DeBoer, like I said, has no interest. ML Rose.
We'll see Friday night around midnight if they lose.
ML Rose. Great burgers, great fries, great beer selection, great place to watch a game. It's just great. It's all around great. It's just awesome. So go check it out, ML Rose. We appreciate their support. So you guys should go support them as well. Good local business here in Nashville.
By the way,
Tennessee.
Jed Fish didn't even get like a sniff at Michigan.
Nor should he.
They ran this background check, and they were like, "Yeah, man, you're out."
The story about him breaking into the OJ trial is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That guy's out there.
He's an odd guy.
Right. But let me phrase this the right way. His wife left Washington to go back to the Tucson area. They say it's for the daughter, but it's pretty much because it's 85 all the time. Her ass ain't making it in the winter in Ann Arbor.
I hear you. I love Seattle weather though. So
I do too.
And when I was there, my wife and I took an Alaskan cruise and we stayed in Seattle for a couple nights. And we were talking to some locals and they were like, "We get a bad rep. Everyone thinks it rains every day. It doesn't. It doesn't rain that as much as people think. It's just overcast."
Right.
Sun is good for your health. Sun does make you happy, but in Tennessee,
fine, go to suntan bed.
The humidity down here, man. I've been here 30 plus years and I am not used to it still.
No, the humidity sucks here, but
I would move to Seattle. I would move to Seattle in 2 seconds. I would move there. It's just so far away.
It's a fun spot. I get it. It is fun. You can hop over the border if you feel like it. The Canadian border.
Victoria Island right there.
Right. You can go to Alaska.
Yeah.
Only get 4 hours of sun there.
You get to Japan real fast.
Right, exactly.
I just like the sushi and the fish and the food. I love the food up there. Anyway.
Yeah, you can get slapped in the face by a mullet or a big redfish anytime you want.
Have you walked through the market? It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool, like little spot. So yeah. All right. Ole Miss and Tulane is also something the playoff was supposed to generate for us, which is the potential for a group of 5 upset. Now, this one not as maybe interesting on paper as I think many people would have anticipated between a group of 5, because here's the thing. If you look at the game itself, separate from all the stories, like in theory, I think this should be a much closer point spread. I still think Ole Miss wins the game, but I think that like you have Ole Miss, which is not a traditional power, which generally people believe is more ripe for an upset. Tulane is maybe the most expensive and best group of 5 team of the year. They have a quarterback who wasn't really the starter in that first matchup against Ole Miss, who's pretty talented, a guy who was led BYU almost to the playoff last year.
Yep.
So he's got experience. He's got talent. He's played in a big conference in the Big 12. They didn't have their starting left tackle and Derek Brown in that game. And Lane Kiffin is gone. And so, in theory, this should be a moment where Tulane has opportunity. And I do think Tulane is going to be within 10 points going into the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
I think Ole Miss backdoor covers this, but this has the makings of a much better football game than I think the 45-10 game did back in week 3 or 4. It feels like it should be close. It doesn't mean that they can stop Lacey. It doesn't mean they can stop Chambliss. It doesn't mean they can play the one-on-ones against the receivers. It doesn't mean Tulane's going to – I don't know. But in theory, it should be a closer game than the point spread indicates.
Tulane is a good football team. I want to make that clear. Like, I think they're a good football team. Like, I think that what you saw earlier in the season is not going to replicate itself on Saturday. I really don't. I don't know how much this is going to play a factor, but I'll lay it out just real quick in like 1 minute. There is so much pressure on Ole Miss to win this game on Saturday. Like,
pucker.
Buddy, I'm just telling you. Like,
everybody in that building is puckered up right now.
Everybody. And there are folks that are covered. Like, I'm going to cover this event, okay? So, like, there's so many, and this is like inside baseball, but there's so many folks going to cover this that they've had to set up 4 different press areas at Ole Miss. 2 of them don't even have views of the field. Like, you're in the cafeteria in one area. You're like in the back of the press box with no view in the other. You're outside the press box, but no workspace in the second one. Like, literally, I'll find out today what group I'm in. And if I'm in the cafeteria group, my ass ain't going to Oxford. But what I'm getting at, which I don't think they do that. But I'm just saying everything is building up to this, and I am fascinated how I think the players will be fine. Don't get me wrong. I think just the energy around it is what's going to make this one, I think, the most exciting atmosphere storyline type of game in the playoff. I do. So
I follow you. It's got the most off the field juice.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Florida head coach who's going to be on the sideline for Tulane. You've got an interim coach, but then you've got 7 coaches that are technically under contract at LSU. Like, this is batshit crazy stuff in college football. I'm sorry. Like, this is just wild. So I and Lane Kiffin might be hovering around the stadium in the Goodyear blimp. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen here. So
what if he's – dude, if they catch Kiffin in a disguise in Hemingway Stadium – oh my God, that would be the best. The internet would break. The internet would literally break.
Look, I know where it's going to happen. And it won't even use a disguise. If Ole Miss wins this weekend, they will go play in New Orleans against Georgia, and you can bet your bottom dollar that Lane Kiffin will be in that stadium.
He'll be in a suite
watching.
He'll be in a suite.
And will find that and
he'll be like in the back. He'll be in the back row of the suite, like with a hat on, kind of pulled down low, and he's like.
Yes, and then he's going to tweet a picture from the fourth quarter saying "Go Rebs." Like,
he'll tweet it like the next day. Like, had a great time in New Orleans.
Thanks for the $400,000 bonus I just got for winning that game. If they do, yes. Like,
look, the on the field. So here's how the on the field. Like, look, Tulane couldn't stop the design runs with Chambliss. No. They couldn't cover 1-on-1. Like, there is a talent discrepancy for Ole Miss's offensive weapons.
Yes.
And we know the defense is still going to probably be the same with Golding still in charge. The offense is the one where you're like, is it going to be as sharp? Is it going to be as crisp? Is it going to be as attention to detail oriented as Kiffin's offenses are? And Kiffin's mind is brilliant around this stuff. And so John Summerall, also extremely talented defensive guy who should have a plan after seeing them in week 1. They didn't see this offensive line or this quarterback. Retzlaff played a little bit, but it was sort of it was a 2-quarterback system. So Tulane should be a different team at this point.
Tulane also had no prep for Ole Miss's offense. Like, and I mean that in a way of they thought it was Austin Simmons.
That's true. No, that's a good point. I mean? That's a good point.
They had no prep. Like, they didn't know about Trinidad. Like, they didn't think he was going to like.
So like away from the game, this is by far the most interesting game because of off the field stuff that you've already alluded to. On the field, I think the A&M Miami game is by far the most interesting.
Agreed.
Alabama and Oklahoma is just sort of like there.
I don't even know what the hell to think. Like,
but it's going to be low scoring, not good offenses, 2 teams that already played. Like, it just sort of doesn't have the same stuff. And then, of course, we'll get to Oregon. There's not a whole lot, unfortunately, to say about the game. It's Oregon by a lot. So I think most of I think Oklahoma will win. I think otherwise the favorites probably win. If you had to pick an upset, you're not saying Tulane wins the game outright, right?
No.
Your face is how everyone's hindquarters in Oxford looks right now, all puckered up.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I just
you want it to.
I would really enjoy seeing Tulane win that football game. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
yeah, it would be.
Grove will look like Woodstock if they lose that game.
Oh, like the next morning, like they cut to the Grove, and it's just like,
oh man,
people passed out, ripped up red Solo cups, glass fake chandeliers strewn about the Grove. shrimp tails everywhere.
It will be debauchery in that town if they lose. So I whatever. I think it's going to be. I don't know. I guess the biggest upset would probably be Miami beating A&M, and I don't even know how big of an upset that would be. Technically, really, yeah. Right? It's not really an upset. I think it's just the going on the road monster type of thing. And unless James Madison just pulls something out of the rear end, like
Oregon hasn't had a great schedule this year, but they're a really, really talented football team. Yeah. So that leads me very quickly. M.L. Rose, everybody. That leads me very quickly to where's the line in this tournament for you of teams that can win the whole thing. I think it's Oregon. I think it's 5. I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma or Alabama beats Indiana. And the beauty of that path is that once you beat Indiana, like I don't think you have you would avoid Georgia and Ohio State. You'd have to play one of them potentially in the championship, but your path could be Indiana, Texas Tech, and then you get to the national title, kind of like Notre Dame did last year. where they got there. And so although they had, I guess they had to beat Georgia and Ohio State.
Because the winner of the Rose Bowl will come to Atlanta and play in the semis against the winner of the Orange Bowl.
So you don't have to play Georgia and Ohio State, who I think are the best two teams.
Yeah.
You would save that team until the very end. So if you're Oregon or Texas Tech or Indiana or Oklahoma or Alabama, you're saving that path to get to you're saving the worst matchup for the national championship in theory. And that's disrespectful to Indiana, and I don't mean that. But I think Georgia's the best, playing the best football. I think Ohio State's the best team, and so I'm really bummed that I think it's going to be Georgia and Ohio State in the championship game. And again, remember, the playoff, Trey, is the illusion of an opportunity to win a national championship for most of these teams. So how many teams can actually win the whole thing in your mind?
3.
Really?
3. Yeah.
So Georgia, Ohio State, and who?
Indiana.
Okay.
Texas Tech is formidable. I think Oregon is formidable, but one of them get knocked out. So okay.
But if their path is Oregon and Indiana to get to the national championship game, you could do that. You could do that.
You could do that. You could.
Great defense. They have an elite defensive front.
In a semifinal game in Atlanta, I told you this last week. I think Georgia is the best team right now in college football as a whole. I just think they're playing really good football right now. And I've said that ever since the Alabama loss. I could probably say more than 3. I do think that there could be potential for not an upset, but I just don't know if I trust team. If Alabama were to win and get to the Rose, I still think, and even beat Indiana, I still think they would lose in the next round. That's the type of thing. I don't trust Alabama to go make a run here.
I agree. I don't think either. So there are concerns with Alabama and Oklahoma's offenses, although the quarterbacks are great. There's a concern with Texas Tech's offense, but the quarterback's not great, and that's he's solid. He's just not special.
Right.
I think unfortunately for A&M, Ole Miss, and Miami, I think all of them run into buzzsaws in the second round, and that's the problem. Is that you've got Ohio State, even if it's in Arlington with A&M. That's the problem. Is that you've got these two monsters with the best players and the best coaches and the best everything right now, basically between Ohio State and Georgia. And so I would agree with Andrew here. It says Bama can do it. Well, he says A&M and Miami have a chance. I think I agree with you. I think they're good enough to talk about in this way. I don't think their path is good enough. You're going to have to go through Ohio State and then Georgia to get to the national championship game. And I don't think you can do that.
No, that's what makes that Fiesta Bowl so interesting to me, just because of what the matchup would be. So,
Seller says it won't happen, but the country would not be able to handle an A&M Texas Tech national title game. So much hate with those two. I don't think people hate Texas Tech. I think they do hate A&M.
No,
they honestly, I think people hate Bama and Ohio State and Georgia more than Tech and A&M.
They hate Texas Tech because they see $35 million next to their roster. That's it. That's all they do.
Here's how I would bet this. Based on the best value, right? I would bet Georgia to win the national title because they're the number 3 bet right now on the board. You can get the best odds for them versus Indiana or Ohio State. I would bet Georgia, and then I would bet Texas Tech actually or Indiana, one of the two, to get to the national championship game. I would love to see Oregon versus Georgia. I think that would be a phenomenal football game, but I think there's something about Texas Tech's front seven and the way they're overlooked by everyone. They have crushed everybody. I don't think they're good enough to win the national title, but I think they're good enough to get there, and it's a really good bet because I think you can get plus 500 odds for them to get to the championship.
I'm looking at it. Yeah,
Oregon has the best path from Andrew. I don't disagree with that.
I think BYU, I don't know how much I can take from Texas Tech, beating up on BYU again. They're going to have to. I'm excited to see them try to prove something in the Orange Bowl, to be honest with you, Texas Tech, and let's see where they go from there. I agree. It's one of those things. I take it game by game here.
Didn't Oregon and Tech play last year?
I want to say I feel like it's been in the last 2 years. They
played a non-conference game.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Joey Maguire though. Joey. What did I call him?
No, you got it. Joey Maguire.
Joey Maguire. Okay. What am I talking about?
Second guess yourself on that one.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, that's a movie. 38-30 in Lubbock. Oregon went to Lubbock and won 38-30 3 years ago, 2023. So similar to the Miami and A&M matchup, where it's kind of different, but there's a little familiarity there if you're a veteran player, maybe.
Yeah.
But that game will be Oregon and Texas Tech, in theory, would be played in Miami, which is an absurd thing to do.
Is it weird to you that I don't want to say it doesn't feel like playoff week, but
no, it feels very much like playoff week for me. I love it. Only 2 weeks,
right? No.
Wait 2 weeks for this. It's great. You don't have to wait 30 days for a stupid BCS game or a bunch of.
I'm interested in. No, here's what I'm talking about. I'm interested in what could potentially happen in 2 years, where it's expanded, where they don't have the week off. You know what I mean? Where Army Navy is played like during the season, so they don't have the week off. You know what I mean? So we roll straight into the playoffs without.
Well, remember our theory on getting rid of conference championship games and having like 13 through 20 play. That would give the top 12 a bye week that weekend.
Right. In so I mean, right. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I don't technically disagree with you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
look,
in general, like, we're getting closer to it. Like, it's here. I get it. Everything. I think maybe there's a little college football fatigue, when it comes to the off-field storylines that are going on. Does that make sense? Like,
people are tired of Kiffin.
There's so much going on.
People are tired of Kiffin. Yeah, Michigan. Yeah, no, I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Sharon was walking out of his attorney's office yesterday with a wife that looked just pissed off as hell, like, to be there.
No.
Like, it was awkward. Like, I was surprised.
Sign the paperwork.
Up. Like, that was weird too. Like, whatever. Like,
well, it's interesting. I do think it's real. Like, first of all, enjoy the 4 home games this weekend, because they are so much better than having to watch these things played in like a monster. Basically, A&M, if it wins, is going to play Ohio State in a parking lot in Dallas. That's so stupid. Why we outsource this to our golfing buddies and that run the bowl games is so offensive to me. At least the Rose Bowl is a historic venue. At least Hard Rock has got grass, at least.
Right.
But like, honestly, I hate that we play this. So enjoy the games at home sites where you get to see student sections and fan bases and college campuses and great places like Eugene, College Station, Norman, and Oxford.
Even Sugar Bowl. Awesome. Like, Sugar Bowl is a fun environment.
I hear you, but it's still that building is so devoid of character for a game between Georgia and Ole Miss, which should be played in Athens. Like, it would be so much better in Athens or Oxford.
And I might as well literally be sitting on top of the stadium for my view.
Oh, it's so bad. I covered the first Ohio State Alabama game in 2014, and like, you can't. They're like, you need binoculars up there. It's crazy. No. I do think it's great that the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft are going to be playing in this tournament. You got Dante Moore, Fernando Mendoza, and Ty Simpson all in the draft. You got other great quarterbacks with Mateer and Julian Sayin. Outside of Diego Pavia, it's like all the best quarterbacks in the country are basically playing in the tournament. So I think there's a ton to enjoy. I think it's a wide open tournament. I think the top 5 could win it. I think the top 5. I would go down to Oregon. Could win it. I think 1 through 5. I don't know if I agree with Texas Tech, maybe, but I would add Oregon to the list. I think Oregon can win the whole thing.
Okay, I don't disagree with you then. I can go 1 through 5. I can add 1 or 2 more teams, but consistency out of Dante Moore is key for me. Like, I'm sorry. So
I think Moore could be the MVP of the whole tournament. Like, he's so good. You're hating on Dante Moore. I think he's great.
No, I'm not hating.
I think he's better than Mendoza.
What the hell is that hating? I just need more consistency. Just stop trying to get the narrative of Oregon fans against me. Like, I didn't.
Why do you hate Oregon so much? Who do you have winning the whole thing?
Georgia.
All right, so we're SEC homers here because I'm picking Georgia.
Not god dang SEC homer.
I'm picking Georgia as well.
I'm not an SEC homer. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not. Like,
I think it's
playing the best football in the country right now. Period.
I agree. I am so pissed off that I am picking Ohio State and Georgia to play in the championship game. I hate that. It's so boring. It's so boring.
I want to see that game.
It's so boring.
Really.
Oregon versus A&M? Hell yes. Hell yes.
Like, am I about to get more excited about a Rose Bowl game between Indiana and Alabama potentially, or Oklahoma, than I am just because of everything that's going to go into it? Like, maybe.
The next round games are going to be awesome. I just don't like that they're played in neutral sites. That's all. Like, Georgia Ole Miss is great. Oregon Texas Tech is great. Ohio State versus anybody is great. And Indiana versus anybody is great.
Well, look, I'm in agreement with you.
Why we like the playoff.
I don't want to see Georgia versus Ohio State in Miami for a national championship. I really don't. I'm sorry. It does nothing for me. Like Georgia versus Ole Miss in the quarterfinal game in New Orleans, sure, okay, fine, but damn it, I'm already
Oh,
getting.
I guess I have to acknowledge that it can't be Georgia and Ohio State. They can only play in the semifinal, right? Georgia and Ohio State can only play in the semifinal because
Yeah,
they're
that'd
the
be the
2-3.
Fiesta Bowl.
I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know why I was. I don't know
No,
why I was
you're
doing
okay.
that.
No, that'd be the Fiesta Bowl. So you could potentially get a Georgia versus Texas Tech national championship game.
I am bummed that what I should be saying, and this is
Or
what
we
I'm
get Ohio State, Oregon again.
I am bummed that it's going to be the winner of the Georgia Ohio State game that wins the national championship.
Exactly.
Is what I meant to say the whole time.
Yes.
I'm
fascinated by it all.
Oregon, Ohio State, I don't necessarily. It's a great uniform game. I don't want to see two teams from the same conference, just like I don't want to see Alabama, Georgia. Like I wouldn't want to see Alabama, Georgia. I wouldn't want to see, A&M versus Oklahoma. I wouldn't want to see two SEC teams in the championship. I want to see the best Big Ten and the best SEC team make it through the party and get there. Yeah.
Like give me that matchup. And then the other equation would be, just for the storyline purposes, is Ole Miss making a run to the national championship game without Lane Kiffin. And his ass, that was going around on social media yesterday. Does Lane Kiffin deserve a ring if Ole Miss were to win a national championship? No, absolutely not.
I would give it to him.
Pin it.
If I'm Ole Miss, no.
Necklace.
If I'm Ole Miss, I send it to him to win the PR battle. That's what I would do. I would make him a ring, send it to him, and be like,
I'd post you're welcome. On social media too.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All. Yes. And I'd attach
$1
million check with it.
Thanks for everything, Lane. We won the Natty without you. Here's a ring, buddy.
Right.
I think that's pretty good trolling.
Or I donated to a yoga studio.
What's the best path for Ole Miss? So they would beat Tulane, they'd beat Georgia.
Yeah.
And that would put them in the semifinal?
Yes.
Or the final? That would put them in the semifinal.
No, that would put them in the semifinal in the Fiesta Bowl.
So what's the best story? Is it beating Ohio State probably is the best story? Or is it beating Miami, A&M? What's the best story for Miami? Probably beating Ohio State. So they beat Georgia and they beat Ohio State. And then they go to the championship. And they have the Jeremiah Masoli Bowl where Oregon and Ole Miss play in the championship.
Could be.
I mean, beating Alabama in the national title game would be pretty good, juicy story for Ole Miss.
Oh my God. Lane begin Jimmy, get me on the sideline. Get me on the sideline, so Jimmy Sexton.
So good.
And then,
I'm taking Georgia. They got they're playing the best football. I think they have the best combination of all parts right now.
The stat of the 17 coaches that transferred from either Ole Miss to LSU. Like I find that one fascinating. Like they literally did a switch. Like there were 17 total assistant coaches.
Oh, going the other direction too. Yeah.
Ole Miss and LSU, with Frank Wilson being hired by Ole Miss.
It's wonderful.
Like this whole stuff has just been wild. And then Lane went back to Oxford last weekend for Landry's 21st birthday and showed up at the same yoga studio. They were talking shit about him 3 days prior on TikTok. Like you can't make this up.
One thing that Jay's pointing out here is I don't see anyone outside of Ohio State, Georgia, or Oregon winning at all but Indiana would be an amazing story, but the depth issues haunt them. They also lost one of their best defensive linemen celebrating after the Ohio State game. Daly injured himself.
Yeah, that was
big bummer, man. But here's the other thing. If Ole Miss, Oregon, not Oregon, if Ole Miss, Indiana, or Texas Tech makes it to the national championship game or wins it, we have a proof point about new college football strategy. Yes. Because those three teams don't exist in the old rules of college football. Texas Tech is not able to buy the team or put together the team they have. Indiana, same with Ole Miss. Oregon, even to some degree. It's not that Alabama and Ohio State and Georgia don't do the portal too, but Oregon is very good at it as well. But those programs are good enough to be here normally. But Indiana, Texas Tech, and Ole Miss, those are three teams that are the story of the portal NIL era with expanded playoff. And if one of those three makes it to the championship, we can then look at each other and say, this playoff really did, and the new rules really have opened up the sport to other programs. And that's a really big story in the conference and in the country.
In the grand scheme of things, of where we're at in college athletics, because brother, we are about to have another round of change in this sport.
Yeah.
I think, yes, I agree. Like that would make things be like, okay, welcome to these new squads. You know what I mean? Like, let's open it up. Like the blue blood type of deal is over with. Not over with, but you know what I'm going.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me some change here. I'll take it. and I want chaos as well. If you're gonna give me a playoff, give me freaking chaos.
I'm down, man. I'm down. I'd love to see it. I think it'd be great. Indiana,
Starts
Oregon.
with Tulane beating Ole Miss on Saturday.
That would be chaos. Trey Wallace, of course, OutKick.com. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, at X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at Trey Wallace _. You can do the same thing on IG. Can't believe
Elon Stewart.
An IG account. And then follow my work at OutKick.com. We'll be heading to Oxford Thursday evening. So
got that.
Yeah, should be fun. Stayed at Tupelo because they wanted to put the media hotel at the Aloft Hotel in downtown Memphis.
Maybe.
What the hell is the CFB doing? Whatever.
Maybe more songs written about that city than any other city that not named Nashville in the South. Van Morrison, great Tupelo song. Jason Isbell, great Tupelo song. A lot of songs about Tupelo.
Yeah, Jason Isbell, the thing. And then also, I'll give a shout out to Memphis just because I brought it up. But the Eric Church Memphis medley on his live album, badass. Just can't believe I just threw that out.
I used to sing that Tupelo song to my second daughter when I was rocking her to sleep, man.
Yeah.
Very, very good song. All right. Check out OutKick. Check out M.L. Rose if you're in town. Do appreciate you guys. Check out all the other great preview episodes of this show all over the 440 Sports YouTube page. I've got 25 minutes basically with every single team that's in the first round here from the SEC. We'll get into Georgia next week as well. You and I are going to be doing a show earlier in the week next week. So we'll do something kind of reacting to the tournament. And then we'll have something for you guys before the Christmas holiday, kind of previewing the next round, and then we'll come back after that. But we'll react to all the games early in the week next week. Otherwise, Trey, we'll talk to you next week. Everybody enjoy the college football this weekend. It's going to be a ton of fun. Just sit back and enjoy those college campuses and those home site locations, baby. For Trey, I am Braden. Go to M.L. Rose. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.